What's going on? Mike Neumann here at the conclusion of the NAMBF Great Lakes Supernatural Muscle Classic, and I got the overall champ here with me, Mike Frezia. When I seen this guy backstage, I knew he'd be the guy to beat. He came here all the way from Texas, and he's a brand new IFPA pro. So Mike, what do you plan on doing now? You got a natural pro card. What do you see yourself doing next?
I'd like to try one of the IFPA, it's IFPA, right?
Yeah, IFPA, brand damn new. This guy came from the NPC, did the NPC, Dave Gooden's Texas Shredder Classic, right? You got the overall win there.
That's correct.
Okay, but you wanted to give the natural scene a try, you know, so what makes you try to do the natural scene?
It's kind of hard to compete in the NPC.
That can be.
So, and, you know, I've wanted to become a pro for a while, so.
Yeah.
So I just thought I might be able to do it this way instead of the NPC. So
yeah, now you can start competing for a little bit of money now. The season's coming to an end. It'll pick back up in May. But yeah, it is the IFPA, and he's brand new, so give him a little bit of something there. But it picks back up in May. So what do you see yourself doing next?
Well, I'd like to do a show next year.
Yeah.
I don't know how the conference works yet, so I have to. I could do any pro show. Is that how it works?
Yeah, you can do any pro show except for the WNBF. I mean, you could actually do an NGA pro show if you wanted to. The IFPA is the top dog. You got WNBF and the IFPA.
But I can do any IFPA pro.
Any IFPA pro show you want to. But today was the Yorton Cup, and that was in Washington, D.C., and that's the last pro show of the year. So season's over in the IFPA. There's a couple new pro shows out there, but the season starts back up in May, so that's how that works out. So I guess you got to go to the website, go to the drawing board, and figure out what timeline works best for you. But nonetheless, he's going to do good as a natural pro. In fact, if you would have done the Yorton Cup today, you might have finished up close to the top 5 somewhere. It's hard to say without you standing next to those guys, but the way you look, I think you spring up your hamstrings just a little bit, but the way you looked, you probably would have did fairly well. You would have finished in the middle of the pack. You would have beat out some pros anyways. You would have done well to begin with, nonetheless. But you got some homework to do, I guess. You got to look to see who your competition is.
Yeah.
You probably got to find out who you got to compete against and who you got to step on stage with.
Right.
But nonetheless, are you done for the year?
Yeah, I'm done for the year. I'm going to take it easy for the rest of the year, and I'll just see what I can do next year.
Okay, well, let's give the viewers some background on Mike Frezia. What have you done up to this point as far as competition goes?
I've done, I guess in May I did the Shredder. I won first place in overall. Last year I did the Capital of Texas, which is in Austin also.
Right.
And before that I hadn't competed since 2004.
Wow.
In the Musclemania, Texas, I won that first place in overall.
Okay.
Before that I just did a string of NPC shows, the Sherman, the Art of Texas, the Texas.
So a bunch of NPC shows then.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is it that you want to do natural shows now all of a sudden?
Well, I'm natural. I don't really, I don't mind them doing what they do in their shows.
Of course not.
But I'm not into it. I've done it before.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Sure.
I regret it, and I just want to
do it the natural way now because you've been there and you've done that, and you know what it's all about. So it's time to do it the natural way. And what makes you want to stay natural then?
Well, I'm also a personal trainer, and I train a lot of contest people.
Right.
I'm kind of known at my gym for being the guy that won't allow any of my clients to use steroids.
I can understand that.
So it's an integrity thing for me. I mean, I didn't like what it did to me as far as my attitude, my personality changed when I did it back then. But it also has a lot to do with my faith.
Yeah. Okay. Now, is it harder getting ready for a show naturally as opposed to being on steroids then? I mean, the way you look, it's got to make some kind of an impact because you look at yourself and you're like, man, I was so much bigger when I was saucing. You know, what's the difference between doing it on steroids and doing it the natural way?
The size is the biggest.
Yeah.
Conditioning, I guess I know my body so well. I know how to get conditioned.
Yeah.
And I've been working out for 25 years, so I have good, dense muscle.
Right.
So I know how to get conditioned. I know how to get dry. The size is the biggest handicap, basically. But I'm learning more. Nutrition, I'm getting better at that. I just got to bring, like you said, my hamstrings. I got some gaps I got to pull up, and I just got to put some size on.
Yeah, and that's usually the one area that most bodybuilders neglect the most is the hamstrings. I mean, your thighs look good, and you can never have enough leg size as it is, and I believe legs win shows. But nonetheless, you brought the conditioning today. Now, how is your conditioning now as opposed to how you did it back in the day, back when you were still taking steroids?
Well, I've been told that I look better and my conditioning is better natural. As a matter of fact, I competed at the Shredder in the overall. I competed against the guy that I competed with in the heart of Texas.
Yeah.
9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's when I was taken, and he said he thought I looked better, just a little smaller.
You know, and I see that a lot of natural guys, they have the ability to get more condition than guys that are taking steroids. I've seen it happen time and time again, because a lot of the guys taking steroids, they look more watery, they just don't look like they bring the conditioning that the natural guy can. And really, I think food intake alone, you can get better conditioning than guys that take steroids and just eat like 80% clean. So
I agree, and I did the capital of Texas last year, 2010. Yeah. I think there was 18 guys in the light heavyweights.
Okay.
And I got second. I mean, they were all juiced up, and I definitely had the best conditioning in that show.
Well,
and the guy only beat me on the size.
Well, you're in the right organization then, because, I mean, they want size in the IFPA, but really conditioning usually wins the shows. Now, how many years has it been since you've taken steroids then? It's been over 7 or 8 years?
It's probably about, I guess the last time I did it was 2004, the beginning of 2004, the very beginning of 2004.
Okay, so you're clean for more than 7 years, but I think you'll do well in the natural circuit now. So, yeah, look for Mike Frezia starting, next year then? You plan on coming back again.
Sure.
And he's going to do his homework and find out what the schedule looks like, but I think you're definitely a guy that can be reckoned with. One more question. What made you come all the way from Texas to Bradley, Illinois to get your pro card?
Well, there was no more natural shows in Texas.
Yeah.
I looked online. The girl I brought with me that I trained, Carrie, she wanted to do another show, and I just figured, I actually looked online and I saw one of you guys pro shows, and I was pretty impressed with it.
Sure.
And I saw that they paid a pretty good amount of money.
Yeah.
So
they do.
So that's kind of what I saw. This show was in the day. I'm going on a cruise in 2 weeks, so that takes me out for 2 weekends in November. So this was the perfect day.
Good stuff.
I mean, I had looked at several of the shows actually.
Okay.
The natural shows, but this was just the perfect date. You know, I figured I'd hang out in Chicago for a little while.
Yeah, and it all worked out. We're glad to have you. I'm sure the competitors weren't as excited to have you as the judges and promoters were, because the competitors seen you didn't want to compete against you, but nonetheless, you took the show by storm. In fact, you dominated. All 7 judges gave you first place. So, you know, glad to have you. You earned your pro card. And there you have it. So Mike Frezia, I think he's got what it takes to do well on the pro circuit. So look for him next year. So until then, I'll keep you updated on what's going on. You got Mike Frezia, Mike Neumann. We're out of here. Thanks for watching.